Hi everybody and welcome to another 5-minute masterclass. Today's topic is trigonometry, finding missing sides. So before we even get into the examples, we just need to remember what we need to do with a right angle triangle in regards to our three trigonometric ratios. We've got sine, cosine and tangent, and they only depend on the opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse respectively. Remember to calculate or to find out which one of these we are, we need to consider our right angle. The hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. Our adjacent and opposite, however, change depending on which angle we're using. So, for example, here we've got our theta. The adjacent is the angle, is the line touching the angle, whereas the opposite is the one that is opposite. Now, it can be helpful to remember our three ratios using this soccer tower to be able to remember which ratio we need to use and which two sides we need to use with it. So if we come to example 1, before I even do anything, I'm going to write down soccer tower because I know it's going to be helpful. And I'm going to label my sides to consider which ones I need. So my right angle is here. The side opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. And my angle is 60 degrees. This line X is touching it. So this is the adjacent. So I've got A and H. And when I look at my three ratios, I'm going to be using this cosine ratio. So cos of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So in this case, I'm going to start filling in values. Cos 60 equals A, which in this case is X, over H, which in this case is 16. Now I want X on its own, so I need to remove this divide by 16. And as we know, the inverse of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by 16. So 16 times cos 60. Into my calculator that would go, and I'll get an answer of 8 centimetres. I can always check if my answer is greater than 16, greater than the hypotenuse. Chances are I've done it wrong because the hypotenuse is the longest side, so it makes sense for that. I would always check my units to make sure it is centimetres or not metres or inches or yards or a different unit of measurement. On to example 2 then, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We need to label our sides. So my right angle is here. The line opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. And my angle that I've been given is 63 degrees. Well, this line BA is touching it. That would be the adjacent. I've got no information there. But this line opposite it is this 56. I'm just going to label that O. So thinking about my ratios, SA, CA, and TOA, I'm interested in O and H. So I'm going to be using the sine ratio here. So I'm just writing it out. So sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse, and now I'm going to fill in my values. So sine 63 is the opposite, which is 56, over the hypotenuse, which is x. Now, this is where it becomes a bit problematic because x here is the denominator. We've divided by x. So I'm going to get rid of that by multiplying by x. And if I do that, I get x sine 63, or x multiplied by sine 63 equals 56. That's still not helpful because I want x on its own, so I need to get rid of this multiply by sine 63. So I'm going to do the inverse. I'm going to divide by sine 63. And if I do that to both sides to keep things fair, I end up with x equals 56 divided by sine 63. Now notice what's happened really here is that they've swapped places, the sine 63 and the x. They've just moved into different positions. It's absolutely fine to skip the step in the middle if you want to and just know that they swap places. But here you can see why. I've multiplied by x and then I've divided by the sine 63. Either way, that goes into your calculator, that 56 divided by sine 63, and I get a solution of 62.85 centimetres. And again, that makes sense. My side here is 56, 62.85 is greater than that, which is what I would expect my hypotenuse to be. So chances are I've done it right. Okay, so over to you. Pause the video now and try these questions. When you're ready, press play. Time for you to mark your work. I hope you've been successful. And if you need any further practice, take a look at Sparks, Corbett and Maths Genie for further videos and questions to support your learning. Thank you for your time today, and I'll see you again for another 5-minute masterclass.